happening now. Several new wildfires have sparked up throughout Utah, and they're causing significant damage.
The fires have destroyed homes and other buildings. News 4 Utah's Brittany Johnson is here to explain where they are burning and what firefighters say all of us should not do when we see them.
Well, Emily and Brian, look at this map behind me here. We have 4 new wildfires that sparked up, burning across our state, and then one here that we continue to monitor. Now, I do want to begin with the West Valley fire burning today in Washington County. Now, here's some photos and videos sent in from our viewers living in and near St. George. Burning since last night, it's growing rapidly, threatening about 10 homes. The thick of this is burning about a mile east of Gardner Peak and 3 miles northeast of Pine Valley Campground. Now, just east of that fire in Parowan near SR 143 is the Dry Canyon fire. It scorched more than 20 acres. About 45 firefighters are attacking these flames. Now, burning in heavy vegetation in some steep cliffs, it's difficult for fire crews to get good angles on this. Now, there's also a lot of dead trees in its path, which fire crews say is causing a lot of smoke in the area. And the Fruitland Shed fire burning in Duchesne County is impacting traffic on US 40 in both directions. Now, firefighters are making headway on this fire, but need anyone traveling near Fruitland to give them some space and let them work. The Fruitland Shed fire has covered 10 acres, and the Utah Red Cross is helping the families affected with food, comfort, and shelter. And the Rough fire burning in Box Elder County has already reached the 1,200-acre mark. Crews were on scene in Broad Canyon. The exact cause of this fire, along with others that started yesterday, still have not been determined. However, investigators will say they believe it was human caused. And the Trail Mountain fire in Emery County is not new, but we're keeping our eyes on it. It's now 80% contained and has already burned more than 17,000 acres. So if you're driving along Highway 31, watch out for firefighters. Officials say speed limits in the area are changing all the time and need anyone who needs to drive through the area not to stop and look at the damage.
Okay, these wildfires that we're talking about serving as a very good reminder that fire safety is so important right now and all summer long. So to talk about that in today's Ask the Authority segment, we are joined with Matthew McFarland from Unified Fire Authority. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Perfect timing here since yesterday, just so many fires sparking across our state. So let's start with this question. How does your department prepare for wildfires like this? And when do you know when to step in? So obviously you're doing residential, commercial, city fires, but when situations like this arise, sometimes you do need to help out.
Right, and Unified Fire has a huge wildland division, so we train exclusively in that side of things as well. We've got 2 crews devoted to that, one local and one's a traveling crew that's a national resource. We also have a lot of single resource people that train all over the country in wildfire, and that brings us that experience that they get wherever they go back to here. So when incidences pop up, we have that depth of knowledge that we can apply to our area.
Because we're not immune from wildfires. We could definitely see something like that here in Sully County.
Absolutely, and we have before. We've got a huge amount of urban interface, all the peripheral cities along the Ochre Mountains and down Butterfield Canyon, as well as the Wasatch Front. So a lot of these places have a lot of potential, and we always have that on our radar.
Oh, most definitely. Okay, now to our next question. With the 4th of July quickly approaching and an increase of campfires during the summer, what are the most important tips to remember to prevent these fires from spreading? We know just the Centerville-Farmington border, just a night or two ago, it was a campfire that started a 2-acre wildfire.
You know, I always discourage people from fires this time of year, but they're fun and you're hanging out with your family and you're camping. If you're going to have one, make sure you have a really well-established fire ring. Commercial ones are great. They tend to contain it better than the rock-built ones. And if you're going to have a fire, have a water source nearby. If you're near a residence, please have that hose dragged out and ready to turn on. And if you're not, if you're out camping, still have buckets of water or something, as well as a shovel, and keep an eye on it. Don't ever leave them unattended. If you're not there right with it, it needs to be extinguished fully.
But if you can just go without, that might be the best solution.
As these conditions worsen, that would be preferable from our perspective, but I understand people want to have fun with their families.
Most definitely. Now, speaking of fun, fireworks can be entertaining, especially with our 2 holidays this upcoming month, but they can also be dangerous. What's the best way for us to safely enjoy fireworks?
Honestly, again, I can't go with prevention enough. enjoy the commercial shows. There's so many of them here in the Valley. They do a really good job. They put a mitigation plan in place. They have a fallout zone, and everyone's wearing proper protection, right?
And generally, they have guys like you right there just in case something happens.
They consult with us when they do their permitting process, and they have a plan in place. But if you're going to enjoy them at home, again, make sure you have a water source nearby. Make sure you're using legal products. And if you're dealing with kids, really monitor those age groups. Those younger ages really shouldn't have any participation in it. And anyone using fireworks should really have eye protection on, and that's a big thing. We see injuries related to that.
Okay, so just be so smart.
Yeah.
And look at the guidelines, because so many areas in our community here are just saying, no, we're not doing them at all.
Absolutely. Every city and community has the right to make their own little rules. So know what your city has mandated and what they've said you can and can't do, because it might be different than the neighboring city or Salt Lake County overall.
Please be smart so we can all enjoy the holidays safely. Matthew McFarland here from Unified Fire Authority. Thank you so much. Perfect timing to talk about these things. And we do want to remind you that GMU does ask for you to email gmu@goodforutah.com with any of your Ask the Authority questions.